week 11 of our English 102 online mini session course. This is Professor Valerie Pell at Harold Washington and Wilbur Wright Colleges. Man, our class is really speeding to a close. I bet you're very excited to reach the end of this semester. Let's try to stay focused as we finish up our work. You're so close. Stay focused. We're almost there. This week, you'll be creating the bookends of your paper. So we'll be writing the title, the introduction, and the conclusion, and also the background section, which will come after the introduction. These parts of your paper can bring a good paper and boost it up to an extraordinary one. So please spend some time with the materials that help instruct you about these portions of your paper. Students will also return this week to Peer Mark 10 to give feedback to their peers on their peers' last thesis support section of their paper. So really make the feedback that you give count this week. Be sure to give full answers to the guiding questions and meet the word count for each question. Please don't rush your feedback. You and your peers both benefit from the feedback process. It's super important, so please take your time. This week, the Writing Center visit is also due. Hopefully you've had your appointment already, and maybe you've had more than one, which would land you some well-deserved extra credit. Last but not least, there's a quiz on the new material about titles, introductions, background, and conclusion of your paper. Okay, so let's take a little bit closer look at each of these things. So, like all weeks, we start with the activity schedule. And I've got it loaded already for us. All right, so this week is week 11, and you're already doing the first thing. You're watching the week 11 overview. Good job with that. The next thing that I want you to do is in content readings, review the attention grabber strategies and conclusion strategies handout. So if we come over to content, and then we come to the readings subfolder, and we don't want week 2, that was a long time ago. We want the regular readings. And then again, these are alphabetized by the first word of the entry, and if you can't find what you're looking for, you can push load more. Okay, but here we go, attention grabber strategies. You can also hit the hyperlink here, that would load it as well. Then also on YouTube, I want you to watch the video lecture on introductions, conclusions, and titles. Then also in the readings folder, back in content, review and read the background and context handout. Here it is, background and context. Okay, so those things will help prepare you for the work this week. The first thing that you'll be working on this week is Peer Mark 11. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So this week, the first thing you'll do is I want you to return back to Peer Mark 10, okay, to give feedback to your peers on their second thesis support draft. Make sure you meet the minimum word count for each question, so you're giving good feedback to your peers. Then what you're going to do is you're going to write these sections of your paper. Okay, format your paper according to the mandatory paper formatting guide. And then begin your paper with your student and activity information like always. Excuse me. This will be your name, your course with section, the date, and the activity name. Then on a new line, center your two-part title. If you're not sure what a two-part title is, watch the video. It instructs you on that. Then on a new line, create the heading Introduction. And then on a new line, compose your multi-part introduction. It should begin with one of the attention grabber strategies that we studied in class. Please use one of the strategies from class. Then transition to your counter argument. Make sure you present it fairly. And then transition to your thesis. This should be one paragraph, even if it is a long paragraph. Then create a new line with the heading Background and Context. And then on a new line and with multiple paragraphs, compose the background and context section of your paper. This section of your paper should be neutral and unbiased. It should not argue anything about the topic. It should explain all key terms, concepts, and background information that the reader will need to understand the rest of the paper. Provide any history or context that's necessary for your paper. And again, this section of your paper should be multiple paragraphs, and it might range in length from about a page and a quarter to 2.5 pages, depending on your background section. And it should definitely synthesize multiple sources from your research and integrate them using MLA in-text citations. Then on a new line, create the heading Conclusion. And then on a new line with one or more paragraphs, develop your conclusion section of your paper. This section should employ a conclusion strategy that we studied in class. Make sure to use one of the ones from class, not any other conclusion strategy. Then on a new page, insert a page break and include your MLA Works Cited page for the sources cited in that section of your paper. So that's what you'll be doing for the Peer Mark 11. And then the next thing that you'll be doing this week is, yes, the A8 through 11, the Writing Center visit. This is your last chance for Writing Center or Writing Lab visits. Many of the writing centers and writing labs do have virtual appointments, so make sure you make your appointment this week. If you've already had an appointment, maybe you can get a second appointment in this week to get extra credit. Make sure that when you go to submit this in the assignment area of class, right, because it's an A, so we'll be returning to the assignments, make sure that you submit it by uploading proof of your visit. So that might be something like the form that's filled out by the Writing Center if you physically went there, or if you went to a virtual appointment, it might be a screenshot of the grade's first appointment synopsis. Make sure for every single visit you have a separate item of proof. So you can upload in the assignment area multiple images or screenshots or documents. So however many you have, upload those so you get credit for each one. Okay, what else do we have this week? Oh, right, our quiz for week 11. The quiz for week 11 is on all of this new material from week 11, and there would also may be review material in there as well from previous weeks. So that looks like it for this week, everybody. We're really close to the end of the semester. Keep focused. You can do this. I'm really looking forward to seeing your work all put together next week. Have a wonderful day.